Hey guys and girls, PTK King here, back with another Flesh and Blood video. It has been a little while since I've done one. I've been extremely busy. I've also been extremely ill. I'm just on the back end of recovering, so my voice is still slightly croaky. There might be times where I have to edit this whilst I cough. But, you know, we're back anyway with a Flesh and Blood video. I've also been doing a lot of short form content, so if you haven't checked it out, I did start a series called PTK's TCG History. So I think I've done about 19 episodes now, and it is just a short form 60-second video, and it highlights some history for different card games. So I've done Flesh and Blood, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, I've done Decipher's Lord of the Rings, and I will be divulging into more card games in the future. So I've been enjoying that, but as I said, I've been ill, so kind of trying to battle that really. We're a week away from Pro Tour London, which is exciting. It's come by very quickly. This year has already flown by. We're 4 months into the year. It's ridiculous. We've already had, obviously, the Hunted come out. Prague felt like yesterday, but it was actually 3 months ago. And we've obviously got High Seas coming up soon as well, which is great. We've had Armory decks come out. We've had so many events already worldwide, seeing different kind of results. But it seems that the last three sets are very kind of much where the meta is at the moment. Obviously, Visceral as well. But it is pretty much where we're at now. You know, Rosetta, the Hunted, and part of the Misfail heroes reigning, I guess, for a lot of these events. So I'm looking forward to Pro Tour. Looking forward to doing some sealed events again. With the Hunted, which will be great. Going to get me those Sink Below promos, the English ones with the afternoon tea, the high tea promos, which is pretty cool. Very, very, very cool promo, honestly. You know, whether or not you're English or British, or you just kind of appreciate nice promos, I think it's definitely a card to pick up, so you'll be able to pick those up. It was in the souvenir package, you get a play set, but you'll also be able to do a lot of side events. There'll be, you know, opportunity to pick those up over the weekend, which is great. So looking forward to that. If anyone that's coming over to London or England wants any tips, places to go eat, things to do outside of doing the Pro Tour, let me know in the comments below. London feels like a second home to me. I'm often there quite a lot with, you know, different events and going to card stores and visiting friends and stuff. So it is my favourite city in the world. I've been to a lot of cities all around the world, across different continents, and London is the place that, you know, feels the most special. It's got a great food scene. There's loads of things to do, a lot of which are free still. It's, you know, such a multicultural city. It's a melting pot of flavours. So, yeah, we're pretty much going into Pro Tour. Obviously, we've got High Seas. We'll probably have some announcements at the keynote. We had some spoilers come that weren't supposed to be spoilers. I think there were kind of leaks that came out a little bit. I'm not really sure if it was planned. I know that they said it wasn't, but I'm not sure if it's like a game or something, or generally they've hired someone and the social media team has just kind of like had a bad day at the office a few times. So we have had stuff spoiled already. Obviously we had all the heroes, which are pretty cool. We know Necromancer is in the game now, which is fantastic. We've got the Pirate Mechanologist, we got Ranger, and we got the Necromancer, which is pretty cool. So I know a lot of people will be interested by the new heroes, which is great. It'll be interesting how well they do, because judging by the last few sets, as I said, every set brings heroes that seem to be performing pretty well. And we have UK Games Expo coming up as well at the end of May and July, June even. And we know a couple of the young heroes, so Marilyn and Puffin, are going to be summer convention exclusive promos. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of getting promos that way, where they're heroes. I know last year's UK Games Expo had Blaze, Firemind. It was the first way you could get the young version of her, although we haven't had an adult version. But it was the only way to get that, and I know that card was instrumental during skirmish season, so the value of that card shot up and the demand was really high. And obviously those that couldn't attend the event, which were a lot of people because they didn't know that Flesh and Blood were going to be there, you know, had to end up paying over the market to get one. So it was a an odd time, and I think a lot of people weren't happy with it. So UK Games Expo, we have had plenty of time to know about the event. So, you know, if you want to go to the event, I highly recommend it. UK Games Expo is a great event, not just if you're there for Flesh and Blood, but if you're there for other card games and hobby stuff, board games, tabletop. It's a great event all round. I'm a really big fan of it. I went there last year for the first time, and I had a great time. So I'm back here again this year. I think Flesh and Blood's definitely the one of the card games that is going to be there. Obviously, they're going to do a pre-release on the Friday, as well as there's a couple of other promos as well. I'll put a photo up here because I think someone in my Discord mentioned that these potentially could be the other promos for the event, because they mentioned there'll be multiple promos. So I think it was 4 or 5. So the ones that I'll post up here, I can't remember the name of exactly off the top of my head. That potentially could be the summer exclusive one. So it's not just going to be UK Games Expo, it'll be Gamma as well. And then it'll be a couple of other events. I think there's one in Europe. It might be the one in Germany. I can't remember the name of it at the top of my head. I've had a bit of a brain fog at the moment since I've been ill. So yeah, but there's one in Germany as well, and a couple of in America. So CardCon, I think, maybe, and Gamma might be the 2 in America. So you might be able to obtain those that way as well. But, you know, we don't know how good these are going to be at the end of the day so far. But this set looks exciting. High Seas looks exciting. We're going to be trying getting some of that product. We'll do a live stream, hopefully, on release weekend with myself and Scott again. It should be good. Excited. Hopefully the set doesn't sell out as quickly as the Hunted did, because I think they got that wrong with the distribution of that. It doesn't feel right. I think the demand obviously is quite high for these new sets, but I don't know. Like, I know it's a bit weird. Like, I don't think a set should be selling out that quickly. No, I'm a collector, so, you know, cards having value. I'm also a single seller, so cards having value is a good thing for me personally. But for the greater good of the game, product needs to be on shelves for people to be able to open it. And as I said earlier, if every set comes out, the heroes in that set are extremely relevant for the meta. Not being able to get product off the shelf for that hero is a little bit of an issue. Obviously, Shelter is really expensive, and it keeps going up because people realise the scarcity of the Hunted, and it makes sense. It's an extremely good card. We've probably not had a card come out in a recent set, at least anyway. I'm talking about the last couple of sets that has been that good and commanded that high price from Majestic. Obviously, Codex Authority from Outsiders. That set is quite scarce because not many people opened it anyway. A lot of people weren't interested in Outsiders. So Codex Authority, obviously expensive. Warmonger's Dust Torn again, another set. You know, that Bright Lights and Outsiders kind of weren't a big fan favourite. The promise that the return to Monarch kind of didn't really happen. So it was obviously only from heavy hitters onwards where we've had, you know, levels of enlightenment went up and then it kind of just went back down again. You know, there's nothing extremely expensive Majestic-wise in a lot of the other Fab 3.0 sets. So this is the first one in a little while. So, I mean, if you pull it out of box, that basically pays for your box. So it feels good in that aspect. But obviously, if you're trying to get a play set for your deck, yeah. We've had this topic before. I think the last video I might have done actually was talking about the value of some of these cards in the game. And for the most part, most of the feedback I got was quite good. A lot of people just agreed that they understand the cost of the game and, you know, there's levels to it. Of course, there were some people that weren't happy with the video, and that's fine. The video is probably not for you, and that's, you know, that's acceptable. That's just the part of the game, really, isn't it? You know, you look at other card games and some of the stuff, the madness you get over there. But the game is growing. It's doing well. So it'll be interesting to see how High Seas does and performs. I think it's going to be the same as the Hunted and Rosetta. It's going to perform well. It'll be received well. Pirates is a big theme. It might even do better because Pirates, you know, is huge. Everybody loves Pirates, right? You know, when you're a kid, you know, dinosaurs is cool, pirates are cool, you know, astronauts are cool, dragons are cool. I mean, we've had dragons. We haven't had dinosaurs yet. Maybe there's going to be dinosaurs in Flesh and Blood in the future. LSS, if you're watching this, I very highly doubt you are. But if you are watching this, maybe dinosaurs. I don't see how they fit astronauts in there. But Flesh and Blood is doing well. It's a great game. As we've said this for ages, it's great. The market is starting to uptick with some of the older stuff now. There's been more recent auctions. More stuff's hit the market and stuff is actually selling. So a lot of the cold foils from the first couple of sets, Alpha, Arcane Rising and Crucible of War, are starting to get a little bit of exposure and pick up a little bit of momentum. Like the Mask of Momentum. So these collectors do exist, and people are going to be entering the market. I mean, I was at CardCon over the weekend that's just gone. There was no Flesh and Blood there, but a friend of mine, Sam, was talking to me, and he wanted to pick up some fab, so he ended up picking up a box of Uprising, Rosetta, and a couple of boxes of Everfest recently, and he pulled a Blood of Drakai Cold 4, which is amazing. Obviously the Fabled, great. Pulling a Fable is always amazing. It's just such a special feeling. Even if it's rainbow foil, it's a great feeling. I haven't pulled one for a little while, actually. I've never pulled a Cold 4 Blood of Drakai. I've opened a lot of Uprising, but Uprising can be a very savage set. That and Dynasty, those middle Fab 2.0 sets are just absolute savage. Everfest is always fun. We did open... What did we open recently? Crucible of War we opened recently. My favourite set. I did pick up some bits in a auction, which I do have here. There was a UK auction, and the guy was selling... he had the shipping at £7.50 a card, so it turned a lot of people off. But I did pick up a bunch of Alpha M's. So we got, the Alpha stuff. So I got a copy of Crippling Crush, Ancestral Empowerment, Spinal Crush, got Lord of the Wind, Tome of Fiendal, and then obviously a super rare Remembrance. I think I paid about £2-3 each for these. For the most part, they're pretty good condition, so they're going to go in my Alpha binder, because some of these I still do need. It's kind of just a slow and steady pickup. With the collecting side of it, I don't rush into things. I take my time. I understand that, I don't want to finish stuff quickly, because the thrill of it is picking up things when you can. And then I picked up a 3 of a kind, because it was actually cheaper than the unlimited versions. And then 2 of the Pulses, Vault Haven and Candlehold, because they're cute. Is cute the right word? I'm not sure that actually was. They're nice. They're cold for... They're pretty cards at the end of the day. Obviously, been doing a lot of Pokemon recently. Pokemon's been going mad, but Fab sales have been doing well. A lot of stuff has been selling. Mech's been selling quite well. But a lot of the rainbow foils from the earlier sets, actually. Not just the rares and commons, but like Majestics and super rares, I've been selling a lot of recently. So I don't know if that's people going through binder sets, maybe. They want to complete binder sets of the first 3 sets. They might have just got into the game. Because I've seen a lot of new names pop up on Card Market recently, which is great. Great for the game. We always need more collectors. And obviously players as well. I think when you start collecting, you probably gravitate towards then starting to play at some point, because you have all these cards, you're like, well, maybe I can just build a deck out of them. And then you start playing, you're like, actually, this is really fun. And it obviously makes it a lot easier because you have the cards already. I need to go down to an armory. I haven't been for a while. The last time I played was Prague, and the last time before that was like July. It's just finding the time, honestly. It's just a bit hectic. So I want to open some more stuff soon. I think I'm going to open a case of WTR. I've got an open case in my wardrobe, so I might open that up and do a video at some point soon. But yeah, Pro Tour will be exciting. Looking forward to that. If you are, hit the likes button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. If you're going to London, come say hi. I'll be vendoring with Righteous Gaming on the Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll just be there filming content, obviously doing side events and stuff. I don't know if they've not announced a sealed box event yet. They did one for Prague, so I don't know how it's going to be. Like, how much product's going to have at Pro Tour? It's going to be interesting. There'll be an alpha draft there, which will be quite exciting. I don't know if it's you enter or because usually it's like you get picked to go in it if you enter other events. So hopefully I'm lucky and I get into the alpha draft. That'll be great. We love alpha. But anyway, as always, please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the notification button if you want to get notified when I upload. And as always, have a great day.